What is up, Shine Runners Racing Radio? And man, I am probably loud, but that's okay too. Swanee back in the house tonight, man. I'm glad AJ called. So much stuff going on. He called me Tuesday. He said, Rooster, don't forget you got a show on Wednesday. I was like, Jesus, got to get up in here.
Yeah, I even forgot about it. I was like, hey, it's out that weekend. And like, no, it is our week. So.
It's our week. Who knows what's going on, man? A lot of stuff, cool stuff been going on in the past. We're going to tap on that. Tonight we got a great show for those of y'all that are out there tuning in. Tonight's a show you don't want to miss. Make sure you tag a friend, tell a neighbor, hell, call your ex, tell her to watch too. Anything, share, tell us where you're at. The comments are up tonight. We're going to try to get some questions answered. If you have any comments that come in, we'll be talking a little bit about the Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, doing a little bit about the Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show. That's a first.
That's pretty cool.
It's been a while since they did a race car show. I think the last one was actually the Shine Runners Racers Reunion.
Yep.
That was done at Deep Creek. I think we had about 800 people there, dude. That was huge.
It was a real good time. We need to try to do that again, maybe.
I think we're going to hold off on the actual Barbie Jeep Outlaws for this year.
Man. I don't know. That was all right there.
It's a good turnout. But we're going to be talking a little bit about that, bringing back the little racing car show, man, putting it on, and Good Old Days of Dirt Racing Family Picnic. Tonight in the studio, we have Mama Swann. You're going to straighten up tonight, boy. Yeah. I noticed you didn't have no hams for us tonight.
Yeah, I don't go by the Dollar General, so.
And we got Jadan Bowling in. He is the North Carolina State Champion for the Young Lions division of Inex. We'll be talking to him by phone a little bit later, but as we always say, man, let's tap it on in. We're going to get the genuine JYD in the house and Mama Swann. How y'all doing?
Good,
Good. Glad to have y'all in tonight. And excited about some of the stuff that's coming up May the 1st, 2022. Finally back after COVID put their seatbelt on us for a couple years. We're back in action with all of that, and definitely looking forward to it. As far as the Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, Mama Swann, Felicia, she handles all of that stuff for us, and we are inducting some wonderful names in this year. We had a lot of nominees and a lot of passion in dirt track racing. From what you've seen from the Good Old Days of Dirt and the Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, what's that mean to you as a family of racing?
Well, it's definitely family, and the main thing is that our elders are getting older, and they're home on the couch, and they think they've been forgotten, and we haven't forgotten them, and we'll never forget them. We think about them, talk about them all the time, and they need to hear us talking about them. And our first picnic showed that. It showed that they needed us as much as we needed them, from somebody as young as Wyatt up to old as Coy Blue. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people there that needed to feel needed.
Yeah.
It's hard work getting a race car together and having your family involved and making it to the racetrack every week and being sponsors and that kind of thing. And we just all needed to get together and know that it's important. And so we've decided to do the Hall of Fame. We went about it a couple different ways and finally come down to doing it with Dave at the Fayetteville Speedway and putting it up in the VIP tower, and that's exactly where it should be. That's our racetrack. We've been there for years and seen a lot of people come and go, and we just need to be there and it be part of our history, and that racetrack is part of our history, and the VIP tower now is going to hold some of the memorabilia from that history.
From some of the greatest that's rolled around that place.
That's right.
And I was in the stands the other night, and a gentleman I was talking to him, and I said, man, you should have been here back in the day when it was Porky and Hank out there tearing this track up, and he was like, who is that?
Yeah.
So that's one of the true meanings behind this Good Old Days of Dirt and, Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame is those names don't never need to die.
Oh.
It needs to be known that these are the folks that paved the way, and that's what we're doing with Good Old Days of Dirt is paving the way, or is paying tribute to the guys who paved the way. The new guys are there this year. We're implementing the Larry Long Memorial race car show. There's going to be sprint cars there. There's going to be go-karts there. It's all going to be dirt, you know what I mean? But it's all focusing back to the guys who paved the way in the whole racing aspect of things.
Yeah.
Now, I've had a lot of people contact me as far as, Rooster, how can we nominate? So what's the plan for the nominations? Because we're so far behind. We did 6 this year. We're going to do 6 next year, correct?
Right.
And then we'll get back to our 3.
Right.
But how can someone nominate somebody to be in the Stock Car Hall of Fame?
Well, before COVID, we pretty much just stuck to a mail-in nominee. It was to write a statement, post your nominee, and mail it to, in fact, it was to your address. We felt the need to do that rather than Facebook because it was just easier for everybody to just put it on paper and just make a suggestion who they wanted to nominate. And so we did that, and it turned out really good the first time. The nominees were wonderful, and they took their time, and they expressed exactly why that person needed to be nominated. So we turned a little bit this year. We opened it up to Facebook and asked some people to mail in some nominees, and if they wanted to post on Facebook, they could. Unfortunately, COVID kept us from staying on top of that because we didn't know when we were going to be able to pull it off and get back together. So it kind of drug out, and we got to the place to where we needed to set a date here recently when we knew that we could have the picnic and could go back to the facility that we were at before. So we took the nominees that we received, and why are y'all laughing?
Tojo has challenged me to shock therapy on foul out.
Parallel Acres.
I was going to ask Tojo. I was going to ask if there was some shock something in this chair before I sat down. They sure better not be.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. Well, all right. Y'all make me nervous laughing.
Ronnie Long got all that.
Yeah, Ronnie's still got the shock on.
I'm gonna leave all the shock treatment to you and Ronnie. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So we have some nominees by paper. And they were wonderful nominees. We had one
A lot.
very in-depth one on Facebook. So we went with that, and we, as a committee, sat down and decided that we were going to cast a vote, and we did it with a few alternates with us. We all put 6 names on a paper, folded it up, put it in the center of the table to just kind of confirm that the names that were chosen were the names that needed to be chosen.
Yeah.
Not to rule anybody out because it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it confirmed that the nominees that were made were the right nominees.
Yeah.
And, so it was powerful to read what everybody was saying, and they described them to a T. And our first picnic, Marty Webb was our MC, and I hope that Marty's going to be able to be our MC again. Because, my goodness, the education on the whole history of everybody, oh, my goodness, he poured it out from his heart, and you could tell that he did. And I'm sorry that the ones that were nominated have already passed on, but I wouldn't take anything for those people sitting there, the families of those nominees, including Joe and I with Mr. Edwards, and all the Parker family with Big John, and, and the Tompkins, and it was powerful, and that's what we want. And their memorabilia is displayed in the VIP tower now, and we're ready to send 6 more up there to join them.
I'm excited, man. It's going to be I had a gentleman, because we put out there for the actual car show, we were looking for teams to build trophies, and that took off. That was amazing. We got Core Enterprise is going to build one. We're going to build one. We've got Donovan Jackson with Jackson Motorsports. Him and Chuck and the whole crew, they're going to build one. And Nick Nick races asphalt, but he has jumped on the wagon, man. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna tell you, this is a super day. I want you to, and not just asphalt or dirt, or you know what I'm saying. There's whatever, but him to come out and to be a part of the racing family, regardless, because we're all racing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he jumped on. He's making some trophies. He's been sending me pictures. He made some medallions for the juniors and all kinds of stuff like that. And I told him, I said, it's a powerful day. Yeah. It is, in a nutshell. Especially, you get a lot of towards the end of the picnic, you bring a lot of people, drivers up. You know, anybody here from the 50s, and it's cool. You know, you'll see 4 or 5 get up, and it's like, gosh, these guys have been in it. And Carl was in it all the way. He was like, wasn't he 74, Swanee?
Something like that.
74, I believe, racing a car, and I heard his name, Carl, all the time. Hey, when y'all gonna have this thing again? And unfortunately, you know, Carl passed away. Is not able to be there this year, but I mean, he'll be there in spirit, obviously. But it's important. Yeah. It's important to me. It's important to, you know, us young drivers to come out and support those guys who, I say it again, paved the way. Dad, you're one of them. I mean, you spent a many a night. We spent a many a night jumping through Joel Bishop's junkyard to get rims. And
try to scar something up to go with.
It's kind of funny, you know, everybody's freaking out because Hoosier, you know, they're allotting a certain amount of tires, this, that, and other. Hell, we went to the junkyard to get tires to race on Saturday night.
Yep, and good fenders.
Yeah, it'd be like we wore the tires out at Dublin Friday night. We got to go to the junkyard and get some more. There ain't no telling what you was riding on.
And radio TAs out of Bishop's junkyard down there was the best you could get, I believe.
They were hooking.
They were hooked up.
Now, Dad, you're on the committee, too, for Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame and, you know, being founders of the good old days of dirt. What does this mean to you when you're there?
It means a lot to me that all the old guys, and I mean, I'm not old as some of them, but I've been there a lot of years. And that to bring these names back up, you know, like Felicia was saying earlier, you know, a lot of these, they sit around on the couch and they've been forgot about. And but you're not forgot about with us. I mean, you know, we sit around all the time, talk about the different ones, and, you know, what we did. I mean, I had a lot of friends back then, you know, and I got more friends now, but it's one day that comes together, Bo, that you know, it's just out of this world that, you know, like you always say, you know, man, I ain't seen you in 30 years, you know, and it shouldn't be like that, you know. I hadn't seen you since last year.
Yeah.
You know, but to bring these people together, the older people, and bring them in, the newer guys, and the newer guys has got to think that all these older ones, that one that kept somewhere for you to race at now. You know, they kept it going, and, you know, for you to race now.
And that's why I say, you know, about the whole junior thing. You got to get behind the juniors because there's nobody to move up if you don't. Right. You know, there's always big races for the big guys, and you'll catch a little $100 one for the kids every now and again. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not banging our box or anything, but we spend a lot of money out of our race program, out of our own pocket, to put into these kids with trophies and damn limousine rides and stuff like that. Not that we do it because we do it because we really want to. You know, we want to get behind the kids, and that's the amazing part of it. Because these kids are going to grow up; they're going to be the next Willie Milligans and Christian Thomas, and then Christian Thomas and Willie Milligan are going to be the next Carl Smith and Danny Parkers. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's got to ladder like that.
Yeah.
You got to take care of all of them.
Well, I'll tell you, in my case, growing up, you talking about all that you do now for the kids. It happened way back then too. Anything that I was involved in at school, or beauty pageants, or playing ball, or any of that stuff, all of the racing dads and businesses sponsored me.
Yeah,
they all did. Daddy said, "You go here and here and here, and you go pick up what you need. They're going to sponsor you." And it was people from the racetrack. Yeah. Everything that I've done my entire life has revolved around those people at the racetrack. Billy Calder taught me how to change oil in my car, standing right in the machine shop, and you know, I knew when something was wrong with my car, all I had to do, I had to stop.
Yeah,
you know, I just had to stop. He was gonna fix it. Yeah. You know, and Wayne Tyndall, the same thing, and you know, I just remember that. And at the racetrack, we made laps. We made laps in the infield, walking around saying hey to everybody, and going from car to car, and you know, all the racetrack dads and moms, they all wanted us to be part of them, and we were, and that's my life.
Yeah.
That's my life, and you know, I want them to know how much I appreciated that, and I want Joseph to know it, and I want him to have some history, and I want my grandkids to know that our family is racing for a reason, and it's because it's good people. It's good people. So
Bert Brewington said, "Ask you." Let's see. It said, "Ask her who taught her to back a trailer."
Oh, wow. Well, that was my buddy Little Bert.
That's who it is.
That was Bert.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he called me one day, and I had never drove a trailer before, ever. And he said, hey, all I want to do is go cut grass, and nobody will take me. And he said, I got a few yards I can go cut, and if you'll take me, I can go cut it. So I said, sure, what I have to do? And he said, you got to drive the truck with a trailer, because he was too young. He wasn't anywhere near driver's license. His daddy kept an old John Deere lawnmower, kept a nice lawnmower underneath him. And in fact, one time I think he had 2 lawnmowers, because I drove one and he drove one. I mean, we'd take off with the trailer. I couldn't even back the thing. But we'd take off, and I mean, get wind up in Hope Mills cutting grass and all this stuff. And I loved it. And me and him, we worked hard. I don't think I got paid, though.
Yeah.
Bert, we might need to talk about pay. I might have some back pay coming. But anyway, I love that little boy. He still works hard, and I do love him. Every time I see some John Deere lawnmower, I think about him.
Yeah. And speaking, Cecil put on there, they are racing. They're not racing at Rockfish this year, but they're still sponsoring the juniors that raced the junior sprints that Fireball raced last year. And thank you for that. They're racing the Hard Charger Awards. He said he was going to get in contact with Bill and let him know that White needs that Hard Charger medallion, because damn if he didn't charge up there last weekend, didn't he, Pa?
He come, both.
Yes, he did.
15th or 4th, he was coming. If we had one more yellow flag, I think the Nightmare would have won that one.
He could have. I tell you, Cameron was riding. There's a lot of nice cars, a lot of good fast cars out there.
Yeah, Cameron's riding good. Yeah. He's got him a steady pace, and he's got a steady line, and Cameron's doing real good to be a young little fella.
It's great to see these kids too, man. I'm telling you,
all the kids, man. It's great to see them. You know what they're doing.
And all you junior sprint drivers, don't forget, bring your cars out to the Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show. The first 30 that enters going to get a nice little dash plaque. We've got it set up. Vanessa Jinks is going to help me out with registration, and we're just going to have a great day, man. It doesn't matter what, as long as it races on dirt, bring it. We're going to have a good time with it. And I talked to Eddie Pollard the other day. Eddie's going to be our MC for the car show. I'm praying Marty is able to be there, and everybody keep Marty Webb in your prayers, as Marty is battling cancer at the moment. Be strong, Marty. We're all behind you. We love you to death, and you are definitely a treasure to racing, not just in our area, but all over the place, and we really appreciate all you do. Swanee, you've been to Good Old Days of Dirt.
I have.
How was that for you? How was that for you?
That was pretty cool to see some of the guys. I mean, I knew a couple of them, but, just word of mouth, and that, it was experience of getting to meet them guys and, put a name with a face kind of.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. And I think that's really a lot of the point of it is get everybody together and talk about it. And, hey, this is such and such. And, he run with me, and he run me into the wall one night, and just the stories and bench race and everything. That was always good. I
think we all kind of got nervous when the Hesters and all them got up there together, and we didn't know if they were going to be buddies or if they were going to have it out once and for all,
In the 80s.
They raced hard.
In the 80s, boys. Yeah. Steve Odom didn't come back without a fender tour slam off that thing, son.
He didn't drive unless he tore half the body off it.
I know. and him and the Hesters were kind of rivaled out there for a little bit. It was kind of one of them Christian and Willie deals, but to see them at the picnic and arm in arm taking pictures of, man, I ain't saw you in forever, and on any given Saturday night they were trying to chase each other down with a ball bat or something like that. And now, look, I think it's brought more people together, and that's the actual meaning behind all this, is to provide a day. And kind of why we keep it the picnic deal. We asked everybody to bring a covered dish. God, there was chicken and pastry and homemade, fried chicken. And I'm talking about, I don't even know how many layers of that chocolate cake was, but I went on that thing 2 or 3 times. And, banana puddings and strawberry shortcakes. And
it was all kind of groceries there. That's
Christ. Jimmy Ray and them are bringing spaghetti salad. Have you ever tried any of that?
I think it was there last time, and it was pretty good. I like stuff like that.
Good heaven, boy. I'm ready to eat right now. It is like there's so much food. Tojo cooks barbecue, and then I think Mike Parker brought 2 Boston butts, and we had hot dogs, and y'all had chicken. And the food is phenomenal.
Yep.
And the camaraderie is even better. And over there, I'm praying Keith Smith can make it, because let me tell you, if you're a fan of the older days of racing and want to see some wild cars, Keith Smith's got 1.4 million clicks on a camera, and he brings probably 30,000 of them for you to look at.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, all the new photographers, including my son over there, I tell him all the time he's got to get him a briefcase and put his pictures in it and go car to car like Keith, like Keith did, selling pictures. When you saw Keith Smith coming, you better get your wallet because he was coming with some pictures.
Yeah.
And they were good pictures, so you knew you had to have them. And so the guys now got their technology going on, and I know it's easier to deal with that, but to see them pictures coming out of those boxes and know that we can flip through and not know what the next picture is we're going to see.
It was crazy.
Was awesome. And I mean, somebody could walk up and say, hey, do you have anything of my daddy's? And he would reach and just pick it right out, and here you go on the table. It was amazing.
And support, you get behind these photographers because they're catching the moment. And you won't ever get that moment back if you don't have it on the print. And the thing about it is these guys and ladies and you, well, you're a guy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all go out there and you shoot for hours and nobody buys a damn photo. I bet you I got 400 photos of Wyatt at the house. You know what I'm saying? And I took Christy, which is with, she's with the new photography, trackside photography. She goes out to Rockfish. Every time she posts one, I'm like, yep, bring me that one. Yep, post one, bring me that one. You got to keep these things, man. Make you a photo album. I'd give you anything to have your photos. I think I got 2 of them. That's about it.
They in that box in your building. Where they were the last time I seen them.
I can't find them.
But you talk about back in the day. I mean, we go to the racetrack back in our day. We didn't care about a Pepsi or Coke or popcorn. We wanted enough money to buy one of them books.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's been talked about. So that we're working on that this year for Rockfish. I mean, obviously because that's where Christy mainly shoots at. We're working on that for Rockfish to build that pamphlet up. But everybody bought one.
Yeah.
And I've got some like you. I got a couple. You don't touch.
Well,
They mine.
Ask Joseph how I am about my books. He'll tell you. I don't let them just touch them and open them and have at it. They have to sit down and be careful with my books.
Yeah.
We'll sit down and look at them, but
I ain't got no. If I got any, he got them.
Yeah.
If I got anything, he's got it.
I got that. I got that one photo where Gerald Wood was driving for you, and y'all were in front of Nanny's house.
Yeah.
Felicia, I have to tell you.
I remember that one.
And we got time, Jaden. We'll catch up with you here in a minute. But I stopped by Nanny's house. It was last year. Guys, they were out in the yard. It's all grew over now and stuff like that. And they were out in the yard, and they had a little yard sale thing going on, so I had to stop. I pulled in there, and I said, man, is there any chance I can walk back there? So for those of y'all that don't know about Lower Dunn Road, that was a huge racing community for a long time. And we were fortunate enough to be a part of the family of Lower Dunn Road with the Collins family and the Kitchen family and the Averett family and the Reeves and the Bishops. We were all there together. So I got out of the car, and I asked the man, can I walk back there? And he was like, what are you looking for? I said, well, there used to be an old silver gray building back here. He was like, it's still back there. And I'm going to tell you the truth. When I got out of the car and I walked, I could hear my nanny holler for us. And I was crazy. Like, you could hear that Dottie's Candy Kitchen sign swaying in the wind. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I got around that back corner and I saw that barn and I lost it. And that dude's like, you all right? I was like, man, you just don't get it. This is where I grew up at. This is where I chewed my first bit of tobacco and threw up right there by that bush and was trying to hide from my nanny because she was calling for us. And I'm over here throwing up where I ate that damn chewing tobacco and swallowed it and didn't know I wasn't supposed to. And any given night, this building right here would be full of people. They'd be working on a race car. And this building over here, my Uncle Carl, they'd be working on that number 23. And Keith Smith's cars would be in there. And it was dead silent. But when I stood there, I could hear it all. It just come all right back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people don't realize the part of racing that it's more than being in a race car. Mm-hmm. it's the people here. And Timmy Blackwell was here the other night, and Timmy made the comment. He said, I enjoy being around my people. I don't want to be at the mall.
That's right.
I want to be at fun. I want to be with my people. I want to be at the racetrack. Or if I'm at home, I want to be around my racing people. And you hear that a lot. You know what I'm saying?
It's different. You get around crowds and you're like, this ain't me. You know, I enjoy the ball games downtown and stuff like that. That's kind of the thing me and my boys do or whatever. But it's not the same. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like you're going to walk down and talk to everybody in a row there. You know, I used to park like middle of the infield there, and I'd walk to the top and start there and come back around. When I come back down, I'd have to stop just, at every other car or something like that. And it took me forever to get back to where I was going.
Yeah.
It's just different. And
I can't take my wife to the racetrack because she's like, well, you come on. And I'm like, every 3.5 foot, Rooster! You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just going to walk by somebody. I'm going to talk to them. And usually the conversation is going to take a minute, a hot minute.
Or 20.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm never going back with you again. I'm like, I can't help it.
Yeah, we actually went to Halifax with the Bandits the other day because if I'm going to be around my family, I guess I'm going to have to chase Bandits this year because they're all on the team there.
That's awesome. They're going to Sumter
isn't that great?
this weekend.
And I'm going to Sumter with them.
heard that.
But anyway, it's exciting to walk down through there. Joe and I took off and come right down in the very first truck and trailer, that we come up on. I didn't know if I'd know them or not, but they come right up to him and said, tell me what to do. My car's doing this. Tell me what to do. And I could tell that it just made him feel so good because it's been a while since he's been, and it's been a while since I've been. And they asked him, what can I do? And he told them. He said, he told him what his car was doing. And he told him what to do. And I said, well, see there, you must still have a hand in it. And he says, yeah. He said, I just miss it so bad. And he'll tell you, with Mr. Edwards being gone, it's just not the same. And we miss him.
Mr. Edwards was kind of like the Dale Earnhardt of NASCAR. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, he was.
He was before his time, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've ever heard of Mr. Edwards has been phenomenal. And he was put in the Hall of Fame last year, which was an amazing thing. But a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah. And Crystal said, tell Joe he can come help us anytime.
April Fools.
Yeah.
So was that an April Fool's with Hank getting in the race car?
that was-
Because,
hey,
the world,
look.
hey, I'm telling you, the world was coming to Sumter, South Carolina.
I'm telling it might
They
be
weren't
just-
going. They were going to have to rent another damn stand, son, because the world was coming to see Hank. Y'all need to put Hank in a race car. If you want to sell out a crowd, put Hank Edwards back in the damn
We got a
race
couple. We got a couple PR gurus on the Bandits, and that was spot on. That was
telling
an
you.
April Fool's and a promotion all in one. And
Wow.
It went. The guy was like, "Man, it's Hank, what horse?" I was like, I want to tell him, like, brother. I mean, it ain't April Fool's, cuz it's the day's a day.
Well, he went out there. Hank went out there in the Shake Old Boys Mod Light down the other day, and I ain't never seen that Mod Light run that damn fast.
Yeah, Hank put that in the wind, bro.
One time, he was driving McDonald's car. Yeah, damn, if he weren't driving that thing, but I don't think he let up on it the whole time.
He told me it was, it was kind of new to him, but he said after a couple laps, he said it comes back to you, and he left from here now.
So here was Joe's comment after I went back, and I had to go back and tell him that it was an April Fool's joke. He told me, he said, hey, he's been in Charlotte. He called me on his way home. He said, hey, have you seen where Hank's going to race? And I said, yeah, I saw it. And he said, call Crystal. Ask her if I can help out. He said, tell her I won't get in the way. Just ask her if I can just be there. He said, I just want to do it one more time.
Right.
I couldn't get on the phone fast enough. I texted her and I said exactly what he said, and she didn't respond back. And so I said, Ryan, you think that was too much to ask? And he says, no, Mama. He said, Crystal comment back. And so then I waited and I thought, what in the world? Because normally she answers me right back pretty quick. And so I mentioned it to Joseph and I said, hey, you think it was wrong of me to ask Crystal if Joe could help out with the car? And he said, Mama. He said, that's an April Fool's joke. I said, no, it ain't. He said,
he had him going, son.
He said, yeah. He said, you didn't know that was an April Fool's joke? I said, your daddy's done called me and told me he's got a setup wrote down, and if they'll let him get near that car, he'll make sure he goes to the front. I said, we're serious about this thing. I said, and it's an April Fool's joke. He said, it sure is. So
Yeah.
you tell Hank Edwards he can still get up. He can outrun anybody out there, and I just know it.
It's awesome to see a lot of people at Rockfish don't know Hank.
Yeah.
And but I see Hank standing over there in turn 3 all the time, and I'll go over there every now and again, talk to him, and he'll tell you. He said, people just come over here, I'll tell me what they're doing wrong. You know, he said, I'm seeing everything everybody's doing wrong right here when they come in 3. So it's kind of cool to have a legend like. And we had Hank on the show the other night. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
So we went to Rockfish the first time we ever been, and we were on the opposite side over there watching White, and I said, "Is that Hank?" And Joe said, "I don't know. I don't think he comes out here. I don't know." And we got looking, and he said, "Dang, he stands just like him." And then when he got in the car, and he says, "Well, he even drives like him." And sure enough, it was him. So we were happy to see him there. We didn't get to talk to him, but we just that presence, you know?
Yeah. And we're going to have a lot of drivers at that good old Days of Dirt. Get them autographs.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing, Gen 3 Performance Imaging, get those hero cards because they make a difference. They make a huge difference now. And I tell a lot of the older pro drivers, these kids are looking up to you guys. They're looking up to you. Yeah. So
we saw that with White and Carl Smith.
Yeah.
That was powerful watching them too.
Yeah. And he actually got Wyatt that picture of him and Wyatt standing there, you know, with each other, and Wyatt still remembers Carl to this day. You know, it's one of his thing. And Wyatt's kind of like me. He holds on to the stories that I tell him. We'll be any given moment, I'll walk in there and I'll hear a commercial playing on TV, and I'll be like, damn, that's when I was a kid. And I'll walk in there and he's watching 1980s retro commercials. You know, Teddy Rumpskin and shit.
I do that a lot. I'll get on there and I'll watch, like, hell, I was watching one, I think it was Riverside or something like that. I was like, you know what, let's watch that or something. I'll get on there, I'll watch that, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you know, it's all right here.
Yeah.
And I got on there watching, like, something like a 1993, I can't remember where it was at. I think it was like one of the first races at Vegas. No, not Vegas. It was somewhere old, but anyway. I just get on there watching the old cars, man. It's pretty cool to get on there. Thank God for YouTube and stuff like that, so you can go back and relive some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I wish we kind of had some more video and pictures like that. There's like a whole like era there, and I've tried to went back and look, but from like 2001, which is when the book stopped. Mm-hmm. I think we got the last one. It was 2001 because Kenny Bass is on the front of it. From 2001 to like 2008 or 9 maybe, there's nothing. Absolutely, there's none. You can't find a picture of Alan Core's car. You can't find Glenn's cars. None of them. There's no.
My boss man at work, Craig Miller, he's like, I used to race late model. And I was like, did you? And he was like, yeah, I raced. Yeah, it was in the 2000 era. And I was like, I don't remember you, bro. Right. I hate to sound like that, but.
Well, I mean, that's like we'll get on there. We'll get to talking. I'll get to talking to somebody about, you know, like Bob Swinson or whatever, like how he used to have good looking cars, like
always.
And him. As a matter of fact, it was the other day. I was over there at Burt's, lettering a car for one of the guys over there, and Jerry and Lisa was there, and we got to talking about Bob and all the old guys and
God, how Glenn Howard used to come out there and just tear them up.
Terrible.
He used to roll in there with about an '85 Chevrolet long bed, just loaded to the gill with everything.
Yep.
And an open trailer. And dump that thing off and make a mess of that class.
And he only needed to make one change a night, and that was the carburetor to bust their ass in one class and bust their ass in the next
He
class.
would.
In the same
You know what? Folks couldn't stand that. They couldn't. You know what? I'm going to bring something up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but about people can't standing people. So my 12-year-old son, he's the points leader right now, was the points leader last year, and I tip my hat. He's still the points leader. So I go up there to look at times, and they've posted the points for this year. Well, somebody has took a pen and scratched my youngin's name out. Now, I want to tell you what, Daddy kind of flew hot, Jack. You hear me? That's my baby. You know what I mean? But then I had to step back and think about it. Like with Willie. Willie's a threat. And y'all can take that to the bank. I'm a Milligan fan 110%. You know, Willie's a threat every weekend. He might go out there and run 15th, but he's still a damn threat. And people don't like that. I've seen them cussing him out and flipping him off and everything else. And that man will give the shirt off of his back to anybody. I've seen him do more for kids than a lot of race teams will do. But people stand up there and just discredit. They boo harder. You know, but Chubby Tompkins made the comment. He said, I enjoy getting out of the car and hearing the boos because I know I got another fan. I'm tearing their nerves up. You know? But in the long run of things, you know, it aggravates me. It just aggravates me. Whatever. I got to get off of that because it
should have.
Yeah, it gets a little heated. But he
that riles me up.
He used to do it every weekend, man. He was the only one making money at the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was cool to see him. And he was just, they put a bounty on him one time, and he started at the back. And I think he still busted their ass that night. And he was just nice as he could be, just cool, calm, and collected, take his victory lane picture, and rolled over there and put it on the trailer and went home.
He was chill.
By himself.
He reminds me of Stephen Dunn. Stephen Dunn rolls in there right by himself, does it by himself, and every weekend at Fayetteville, the louder they boo, the harder I yell.
Yes, Lord.
But you know, it's cool to. I wish I could see Glenn again, but when he was done,
you can't just ride around here on Saturdays. He's riding his bike still.
When he was done, he was done. Like he wrapped his thing up and like put a bow on it. Done, y'all.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still find him. He still rides his bike around here. I don't think he goes out as far as he used to, but he still gets that bike ride in every day.
Yeah.
You can see him on Fridays or late in the evenings most times, and he just be out there cruising.
Yeah. I'd like to, and I hope, you know, we can reach out through everybody. Okay, May 1st, 2022 is Good Old Days of Dirt. Not everybody's on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook and you know somebody that ain't, ride by their house. Be like, hey, man, Good Old Days of Dirt. They would love for you to be there. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to get out to everybody. Yeah. But this day is for everybody. It's what it's for. I don't care if you was a fan, if you was a family member, if you changed tires, if you worked in a concession stand flipping damn hot dogs. This is your day.
That's right.
Be there. Try to be there at least.
I missed that one. Jenny said Dad only drove Blazers.
Yeah, Dad was a hell of a Blazer driver.
Girl, your daddy's going to go down in history with that Blazer.
Every time I see him, I bring that up.
I think that and another memorable moment was when Denton Little and Alan Core got together, and Alan Core went off the hill, and he come back on opposite way and met him on the back stretch at Fayetteville. Wide ass open, son.
Not cool, calm, and collected Alan.
Bad. Bad. We've had some bad nights, ain't we, Dad?
Oh, yeah.
I remember leaving Dublin with the tires slashed and everything else.
Yeah,
Bruce Rayner was driving your car, the B2, purple. It was a red car with a purple B2 on it.
Yep. I stayed at the track owners, you know, some of these people, because I walk around a lot. And Jimmy Edwards taught me, he said, son, he said, walk around and listen. Just keep your mouth shut. Just walk around and listen, and that's how you learn stuff. And I walked around a lot, and I could smell the alcohol on these guys and this and that and the other. You don't need to get in no race car drinking alcohol because you can't drive it to start with. All you can do is aim it, is all you can do. And that little incident at Dublin that night, that guy crossed up in front of Bruce. Bruce had nowhere to go, and, you know, away the guy went. And then they took it all out on Bruce, and I told Bruce, I said, well, first there was a guy, they slashed the tires on it, and then a guy went around there with a cigarette lighter, and I was going to put it in the gas tank, and I stopped him. I said, cuz, let me tell you something. If you strike that lighter, they won't nobody in Dublin remember this, because there was some stuff in that, you know.
Daddy running a little hot, huh?
No.
Kitchen running a little hot.
I told Bruce, I said,
telling on yourself, Bo.
I said, you go where lights at, Bo. You get out of here and you go where lights at. Well, I didn't know the fool was going to go out on and go down 87.
Yeah, I remember like yesterday.
Yeah.
Damn blue lights everywhere. Highway patrol was chasing the race car down. I'd have loved to heard the daggone radio traffic with that. The highway patrol all over the place. Yeah. Bruce sitting everywhere. There still in
Bruce
the race car.
Bruce headed down 87 in the race car.
When we told them what happened, though, they were like, load it up.
That's it.
Just load it up. Y'all boys get on out of here.
He told me to, you know, let me do a little checking. I said, okay. I said, you know, if you just let me, you know, if you're going to write a ticket, write it to me, because I'm the one told him to get out of there, because somebody's fixing to get killed. So we all got out of there. And he said, let me do a little checking. So he went back to the police that were at the racetrack, and then he come back up there where we was, and he said, look, he said, the only thing I can tell you is load your race car, Get out of here and don't never come back to Dublin. I said, thank you, sir.
I believe there's quite a few race stories like that. I remember very well all the open trailers at the time and those tire tools at the back of the truck, made sure it was placed right where it's supposed to be.
And bread vans.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to ride in a bread van? Did you ride in Uncle Frank's bread van, the Reeves Electric bread van?
I think one time, didn't I? I think I went to racetrack with Jerry and him one time.
You know,
in the bread van.
I didn't know who the man was until later, but Mr. Brian Ivy's father.
Yep.
What was Mr. Ivy's name? Mr. Ivy.
I always call
Yeah,
him
Mr. Ivy. That man took care of me that night. I had never met him a day in my life, and now I know Brian. You know what I'm saying? But we had, I went down, Uncle Frank called, and they wanted me to go to the racetrack. So we went with Frankie and everybody, and Mr. Ivy was in the truck. And Mr. Ivy, because I was still young, he kind of kept an eye on me that whole night. Bought me a hot dog. That's back when Coca-Cola come in cups at the concession stand. They had a concession stand in the middle of the pits at Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Remember
the one
that?
by the fence, the one by the front, like where the chute's at now. Yeah, I remember that one.
No, this
one with
was
the
in
deck
the,
on top
this
of it?
was one in a center block building in the middle of the pits.
Yeah, it was a full-blown.
A full-blown center block concession stand, yeah.
No, I remember the wood one that had, or the one that had the top on it. It had Hooters across, or no, Holly's Camping Center, right? Didn't it have Holly's or Hooters? Both, I think.
At one time, Hooters was on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, we can talk about this for
I'm
hours.
telling you.
And the yellow lights.
This is what May 1st is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you do from the time you get to the picnic to the time you leave.
Yeah.
You hear racing stories, whether it's stories from now or stories 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And if you think it's boring, I'll pray for you. But it's good stuff.
Well, you have people come together too. Like I was talking to Kyle, Joker Style Kyle, and Carl Smith and Kyle talked at the racing thing.
Kyle
and
Jenks was tickled that day.
And Kyle, he called not too long. He's like, dude, y'all have got to do Good Old Days of Dirt because, prayers going out to Carl's sister, Carla. Yep. Her husband passed away, and racing is a big thing she holds in her heart. So she met up with Kyle the other day. She never met Kyle, but she knew that bond in between Carl and Kyle, and it just kind of racing brings people together. It does. It might take some people apart, but it brings people together.
I just ask that everybody just reach in and get your photo albums out and bring your pictures and bring your trophies and bring your family with you. It doesn't matter who it is, if they've had any association with you or with your racing outfit, whatever. They're invited. Bring them. Let them see what racing is all about, because it's not just turning left.
Yeah.
It's not. And, there are good people there to meet, and you guys need to come and be part of that. COVID has kept us closed in and sheltered and afraid to get out and be part of people. And there's people that I hadn't seen since we walked away from that picnic that day.
And if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Nobody's telling you can or you can't. If you feel like you need to wear a mask, wear one. It's not a mandatory thing at this event, but we would definitely love to have everybody there. Yep. I'll bring my asphalt racing pictures. Bring them, man. Racing's racing.
Yeah, racing's racing.
Oh, we're gonna enjoy it.
Invite your asphalt buddies so they know what they're missing.
Yep, Caroline. I know Caroline and Alan.
Caroline she is an asphalt. She loves dirt, but she loves Bowman Gray.
She sure does, and she'll be right ready to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about Bowman Gray the other day. They just repaved it.
Yep.
And that's a heck of a show. I want to get up there and watch that. So yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a different all around. It's pretty cool.
We used to be asphalt at Fayetteville too. We had asphalt.
That was back in the
'70s. Yeah, Fayetteville was asphalt first.
I mean, we raced hard, so we got some racing asphalt stories too.
And see, we got to get Jadan on the line. But what people don't know about Fayetteville is the rich racing history of this place. With Ernie Irvin used to turn laps here in the dirt. He's racing number 15 Crown Video car, if I'm not mistaken. And you had Dale Earnhardt come down here in the 70s and raced here, and Mark Martin and Bill Elliott was the master of ceremonies at one of the big races we had with Patrick Ford, and Coca-Cola. Mr. Lucas put on like the first $10,000 to win Coca-Cola race here, and Danny Parker was the winner of that. And I've actually got the tire from that. Yep. And just there's so much good stuff. Don't miss it, guys.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Put it down on your calendar. If you got a race car and you want to bring it, first 30 to come in is going to get a nice plaque. Not a plaque, but a nice thing, whatever you call that damn thing.
A memorable coin.
One of those deals.
Commemorative.
To go into your race car. And we don't care. Bring if it's a race car, bring it. For the show, the Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show. Larry loved every aspect of racing. Through Fast Lane magazine or Fast Lane newspaper, to his announcing, to 12:30 a.m. radio, to him and Robert Shoe's cars. What was that gentleman's name?
I meant to ask you
Mr.
that.
Robert.
I meant to ask you that the other day. Remember the guy that used to drive the white duel? He had white hair. Him and Larry used to ride together.
That was Ron Long.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's Ronnie's dad.
I was a young buck.
Ronnie's hair and Ron's hair cannot be compared at all.
Right.
Neither can much of anything else for them two. You wouldn't have thought that they were father and son, but they definitely were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I know.
I wanted the wind to blow and mess his hair up just one time, and it never did. And I'm not talking about Ronnie's hair. I'm talking about Ron's hair. Ron Long. You don't remember Ron? He used to have the pretty hair.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of hair, before we go and talk to Jaden, got to send a huge shout out last weekend. So when you're in junior sprint racing and Jimmy and Christy Ray show up, you don't know what you're going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We left Victory Lane one night with a watermelon, and we were standing up there at the drivers' meeting, and Bill comes walking around the corner. He said, "It's a good night to be a junior driver." And he had some Lowe's buckets. I'm like, what in the world? He said, "Yeah, they're from Jimmy and Christy Ray." I said, "Was it some peas?" Well, we got some peas this time.
You got to help Christy snap some peas.
Ain't no telling. But so White finished fourth, and we were able to carry home one of the. But it was ice cream. It was a tub of ice cream. It had an ice cream scooper. It had ice in there. It had the bowls, like for real. And he got a little bag of candy. So thank you, thank you, Christy and Jimmy, for you taking your time to go out of your way to help out and give these juniors a smile. I know Wyatt's room is full of trophies. We got to have to build a whole nother room. We got trophies and medallions and plaques but he loved that ice cream and that watermelon, son, like it was $1 million.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It makes a big difference. So thank you. And Jimmy Ray's got the most famous hair in racing.
Okay, so let me say this before we finish. We did not touch on what we were going to do about nominations for next year.
Yes.
For the 2023 inductees. We are going to have a box at the picnic. It is going to be for nominations.
Yeah.
So if you want to write up something before you get there, by all means, or if you just want to jot somebody's name down and drop it in a box, we are going to start there with the next year's nominations.
Yes.
Because we just cannot touch everybody. And if there's going to be 300 plus people on the premises that day, and I think there will be, we're going to let them have at it right then. We can't discuss it. We're not going to pull anything out of the box. None of that is completely private. So if you put anything in that box, just know that it's going to be read. It's going to be placed for next year's nominations. And I'm sorry that I know there's a few that wanted to cast some nominations for this year, but with COVID, it stretched it out, and we just couldn't open it up any further. If we had, we would have been June and July having a picnic, and we were so ready to do it now. So we found May 1st to be really the only weekend that we could do it before June, and so we're going to get it in there, and we're going to nominate these 6 very well-deserved people, and I think everybody's going to be pleased with the ones that are going to be put in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely. And before we get off, I keep saying that, but it keeps bringing stuff up. We have open spots for partnership. If you'd like to partner with Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, it starts at $150 and goes up. Your business will be on a plaque. That plaque will be placed inside the VIP tower at Fayetteville Motor Speedway along with our inductees. Also, we have a $250 spot if somebody would like to become the main partner of the Larry Long Memorial race car show. Your photo, we'll put your banner up. Your photo will be on every one of the pamphlets. You can hand out, we'll give business cards to everybody. It's a whole aspect of marketing that we can do, and $250 will cover that. And that helps us do what we need, because as far as like sponsoring Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, we have to buy shadow boxes, and that stuff's not cheap. We pay for photos, all that stuff to try to help out, and marketing really help, and we'll do our part, as far as the marketing issue part, if somebody wants to become the partner on that. So
I would love to see one day, and I don't know if I'll do it in my lifetime or not, but we can pass the torch if we need to. But I'd love to see it one day, us build a building for the Hall of Fame, to where everybody can be involved. The VIP tower is only just so big. We're going to fill it full of anything that we can put in there and make the best out of what space we have now. But wouldn't it be nice to see something grow further with that later? And we've got some high hopes coming up, and I don't want anybody to be offended by us asking for help, because it is expensive, and we have to buy good stuff to go in that tower, because you got to remember those race cars are rumbling, and we got to make sure it's all braced up and hold up, and it can't be something that's going to fall apart or hit somebody on top of the head, because I think we almost got somebody right to start with a frame or something fell, and so that got our attention. And so anyway, we have a lot of things that we want to do, and got big hopes for things, and we hope everybody will join in with us and make this happen. I know my family, we are a racing family, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. We don't have a car anymore, but we're taking pictures, and we're making hats, and we're doing shirts, and it's so awesome to go out there and see all that, and know that that's our family, and that's what we do, and we do that together. And this weekend we're going to be, like I said, we're going to go watch the Bandits race, and we're going to be there as a family. So it just means a lot.
Good stuff.
So,
well, big shout out.
One old time memory. Big Daddy, which was Ronald Collins, him and Ma Rube, they went to the beach fishing. So me and Ricky decided we wanted to go racing. So we stole the race car. And we went to Dublin.
God.
We stole the race car and we went to Dublin. And we blowed it up. We come back. I told Ricky, I said, Bo, we got to clean this thing up and get it in the building before Big Daddy gets home. Maybe he won't know nothing. So we get out there on the concrete slab, and we washed the motor all down with gas and all that stuff, to clean it up, this and that and the other. Ricky reached in there and hit the key, and the starter arced. The damn car blowed up, and we burned it.
Oh my gosh! And you're still alive.
Yeah, but we got the old car. We got it put out. We got the car back in the shop and all. Big Daddy come back. Monday we went out there. He opened the door and seen that. Want to know what? And he used a few more choice words, but he wanted to know what in the world had happened to that. Well, we knowed we had to tell him, and he turned around and. We figured he'd be all beside himself and stuff, but he turned around and looked at me and Ricky. He said, "Did y'all have fun?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's all that makes any difference." We thought he was going to lose it on both of us. As long as y'all had fun.
See, and like that right there, I mean, all of 636 Dunn Road is gone now. All the race shops, the shade tree, the house, everything's gone, but those memories, they ain't gone. They won't ever be gone.
And I would have never known that had he not just said that.
Shared it.
So Good Old Days of Dirt's what it's all about. Come out, tell those stories. You drivers have the opportunity from the 50s. Hell, if you raced in the 40s, we're going to get you up there. But from the 50s to today, even asphalt drivers, Nick, we'll have you come up there. And your buddies. We'll have you come up there and talk about your experience. It's a day that is definitely – it's well worth it.
Yep. And
Kip
if you
Thompson said he'll do the 250.
Yeah, I seen that, and I showed that. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kip. Kip is now Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford, North Carolina, is now the official partner of Larry Long
So you
Memorial.
think we get some Kipper's corn?
He said
Add
he's
it on the
bringing
deal?
Kipper's
He said he's
corn.
bringing a bowl.
A bowl. We need a cooler.
Oh,
Yeah.
A cooler full of Kipper's corn and all the fixings. And y'all can take the rest of it. I'm going to be over there at the corn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try this corn. I've
Oh my
heard
God, it's
enough about this
amazing.
corn now. So you make sure I get a piece of corn when we're we're there.
Kip said, I'm going to have to put my name on Wyatt's car. Instead of money, I'm just going to have to bring you corn. Wyatt ate about 6 pieces that night,
we
dude.
like corn.
I'm down. I'll be a regular every week.
That was so good, man. I tell you, it was amazing corn. And I love Bobby Jackson's corn, but whoo, that Kipper corn, boys, I think it's got Bobby.
We didn't have a corn competition.
Yeah, we need a corn off.
Corn off.
We're just going to keep talking.
How about May 7th? You ready to get your ass whooped?
Shit, don't even worry about it. I hope you practiced the other day because you sure as hell going to need it.
I'm just saying, May 7th, we're going to be at Triple T Raceway. We're going to be racing for Fishing to Fight Cancer. Me and him, 5 laps, hop out, eat 5 chicken wings, hot wings, hop back in the go-kart, race 5 more laps, hop out, chug a hams, and whoever finishes first wins. And the proceeds that we raise off of that race that night are going to go to Fishing to Fight Cancer. Terry Odom and Mr. Wheeler are going to be head-to-head with shot collars on for 10 laps. That ought to be.
I think you get a line for 25.
Yeah, you 25? Get to hit the line for 25. Yeah. So that ought to be very interesting, man. I'm excited about that. Hey, Mr. Horn, good to see you, buddy. Damn, Ryan. Ryan, that was for fouled out. Ryan said Swanee eats corn the long way. That's hard.
Oh, my God.
That's wrong, Ryan. That's wrong.
God.
So on another note, anybody that needs to get in touch with somebody that's doing the picnic or in the Hall of Fame, please don't hesitate to call us. Reach out to us. If you don't have my phone number, and I know he didn't post it on there.
I did. I went back and posted it.
Okay, good.
You got on to me. I went right back and did it.
Okay, good. Well,
I know better. When you say something, I'll go ahead and knock it out.
Okay.
Mama Swann, keep us in line.
We're reachable, and we're ready for any input that you guys want.
So for Fayetteville Cumberland Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame information, or if you're wanting to find out stuff, how can they get in contact with you?
You can always text me or call. I do work full time, so I'm kind of hard to get during the day, but I will return your call. You can call 910-309-0498. That is my cell phone. You can shoot me a text. I may can answer a little bit faster back with a text. We also have an email address, Rooster.
It's goodolddaysofdirt@yahoo.com. That's all spelled lowercase, good old days of dirt, OLE, daysofdirt@yahoo.com. You can also contact me if you want to ask me about the picnic or get in your car in the Chatley Boat and Marine Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show.
My God, that's what I'm talking about.
Say that again.
Chatley Boat Marine Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show. If you want to get in there, I have to close my eyes to get all that out.
We need a commercial.
But you know what? I'm thankful to be able to say that. Thank you, Kip. Thank you, Chatley, for stepping up and making that happen, man. That means a lot. So there's going to be some awesome prizes for that. Now, thanks, Chatley.
There we go.
Boat Marine, Larry Lee.
Maybe he'll bring me a boat.
Larry Long.
Yep, and I need to reach out to people too. If you've got your own businesses, I don't care if it's Cincy, if it's Mary Kay, if it's whatever, if you have a shampoo kit or whatever. I'm trying to do a silent auction, and I want to do baskets to where I can have a variety of stuff in the baskets for people to enjoy that day and give everybody something to take home. So if you have anything that you would like to join in with me with that, give me a call, or Caroline. We're all on Facebook. Just click on somebody and say, hey, I need to talk to you, call me, or whatever. Just reach out to us, and we're going to make ourselves available. We just want to make the most of this day, y'all, and we're so excited, and I hope you see that and feel that, and I promise you, if you'll just come May 1st, you will be hooked. You'll be hooked.
And Dad's like, what about me? Well, Dad, you have earned the right just to wear the shirt and enjoy yourself. We do the work.
You're reachable, too.
And yes, Dad's reachable, too. If you have any questions, you can look up Burt Kitchen on Facebook, the Genuine Junkyard Dog himself. And Rodney Ward is also a part of the committee. Get in contact with Rodney. You know, Rodney can direct you in the right directions as far as the Facebook pages and stuff of that nature. So, man, I'm stoked. And I could sit here for 2.5 more hours and talk about it, but we got to get on and talk with Jaden. Again, thank you, Kip. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in to this far. And we are going to give my man a call. Y'all more than welcome to hang out with us. So let me figure this out, because AJ's got me over here on this damn airplane.
And that it is.
Sorry I missed your call. Leave me a message and I'll call you back.
Uh-oh.
He's give up.
At the tone, please record your...
Well,
Uh-oh.
let's try this again. One more time.
There it is.
Huh, might have hit the wrong button or
Wrong
something.
button. Let's see.
Was that the number I was supposed to call?
Oh, Lord, I hope so. Chinese restaurant, here we come.
367.
No. Oh, that's the one that he broke.
Yeah.
Hey, call the other one. I dropped it.
Okay, I'll call you right back. All right,
bye-bye.
later. 367. There we go.
There we go.
Let's try this one. Let's get my man online here.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, man. We got in a little good old Days of Dirt vortex there for a minute.
Yeah, I went to answer it, then I dropped it.
Oh, cool. Thanks so much, man, for coming on tonight. It's an honor to have you on the show with us tonight. And, man, you are doing some big things in racing. It's awesome to see it. You've taken this whole legend class by storm.
Yes, sir. We started out. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for allowing me to be on the show, and I was enjoying some of the good talks that y'all were having there early on. Some pretty cool stories.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, that day is a day that it's unimaginable. That the stuff that you can learn from some of these guys, and you know they tell stories where they had to take and cut the A-frame on the car and weld some pieces in there to get, you know, the tires to lean out where they could get a good grip. I mean, it's crazy to hear some of the stories where nowadays, you know, you can just go on Summit or, you know, there's so many different performance outlets you can just order parts from, or back in those days you had to make it. And it's great to hear those stories from those guys that actually, like I say, paved the way for us to do what we're doing right now.
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely. A lot of cool stuff of the stuff that happened, you know, back in the day, or like you said, the old timers. They definitely made a lot of ends meet, and it's pretty smart for the stuff that they had to work with and the technology that we have now. It's not even comparable. You know, now we got the not the computers, but like the scales and the data acquisition systems. It's just getting a little out of hand now.
So now you come from a go-kart background, from what I understand.
Yes, sir. We started karts when I was 10, and we done it to a little bit over 15, and then we joined started running with the Dirt Legends, and you know, then we got started to where we could win quite a few of them at the different levels, and then now we're running our super truck and the Asphalt Legends. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going in those too.
We were sitting here talking. We had Kip in here. I know you know Kip, or Corn, Mr. Kip Thompson himself, the voice of victory of Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and we were talking, and Swanee made the comment, you know, enjoy Jadan on dirt now, because I don't think we're gonna have him long. What are you looking at in the future? Are you looking more towards asphalt? I know you're messing around a little bit with it now. Or are you going to stick around with some dirt, or how's that going?
Well, dirt, that's what started it all. So we're definitely going to put a lot more focus to the asphalt side. But I don't think I can ever just walk away from dirt. That's some of the best racing that there is. And like I said, that's where I started. And I will we'll continue to run dirt. We won't be able to do it. Won't be able to make a full schedule or full seasons, but we'll be able to make it to fill in some of our schedules with the asphalt stuff for sure.
Well, that's probably a relief to Ryan Shabram and Chad Gross and those guys. They now have a chance to win if you're not going to be there.
Those guys
just joking, guys. Just joking.
those guys is just as good as anybody and better than the races that we won. It ain't like we won them by a half a track.
So you've pretty much owned the Palmetto State. You picked up a win at Florence, last weekend, and then I think it was Dillon the week before or 2 weeks before that.
Yep, Dillon, and then we went on to win Florence. We had some momentum going right now, so hopefully we can keep it going straight. And as you said, with the Dillon and Florence, Nick Pistone, he's been a big part of that organization.
Yeah, he's pretty big in the legend car stuff, right?
Yeah, what's that?
He's pretty big in the asphalt legend cars, right?
Yeah, that's all he does. That's his full-time job is work on asphalt legends.
So do you see you're racing in the trucks? Is that what you said? Super trucks?
Yeah, we recently got us a late model super truck, and we plan on running it in a couple weeks at Florence if we can get everything back in order. And had a little bit of motor problems the last race, so that's going to do us out for a while. So hopefully we can get everything back on track and get back to running those.
Now, I was talking with Debbie Colbert, Fireball's mom. Fireball running the Bandoleros, and good luck to Fireball going down this weekend. I heard they got a $500 to win down there at Goodyear All-American Speedway for those bandos. But they were telling me you were having an issue trying to get something put on your car, and they had already got the race. The guys were out there lined up, and you just went out there and won the thing from the pits. Tell me about that one, man.
That was a pretty eventful weekend, to say the least, because that's actually when our problem started with the truck. We had motor problems earlier on, so we parked it, and then I think the first round of practice that day we were at the top, and then the second round we fell back to second, and then we qualified second, and we didn't really pay it no mind, because when we come in, we like to cut the fan on the motor and just let it cool back down, and then we cut it off after it gets cool. Well, I guess somehow we forgot about it or it slipped our mind, but we cut the fan on and went on and was making changes for the race, and then we went back and Pop started grilling and just having a good time, and they were calling the legends to the grid, so we just went ahead and got everything going, and I went to flip the switch and nothing come on, so I told Nick to cut the battery switch on. He said, well, it's on. And then we had hooked up our battery charger to it, and it wouldn't charge it fast enough. And a buddy of ours hooked his up. So we had 2 battery chargers, and that still didn't work. And Cobra, luckily, he come walking up and had a jump box. And they were coming off a 4 going to the green. I was pulling out of the pits, getting into 1, and we luckily everything fell in place and able to come up to second, just a little bit short of the win. I got to his buffer getting into 3, but we just ran out of time.
Man, that story, that's some of that Bill Elliott 1986 Talladega stuff there. So what got you into racing? What was the avenue to get you on a go-kart?
Well, it's just the whole family's done it. My uncle, my grandpa, and it's always been around it. And my pops, he was back then. That's when he was running the cart still a little bit, and I would go to the track and help him out. And I was like, man, this stuff's pretty cool. So we got us a cart and just tried it and was testing, and I liked it. So we started from there. About I was 10 years old, a little bit under 10, and then I started right after I turned 10.
You kind of remind me of Cody Garner. How in the world do you fold up to get in that little legend car? You're about 13 and a half foot tall.
Yeah, we have to get the big boy chassis, and that helps out a lot. But really, the legend cars, it's a lot more room than it looks, because your pedals is almost right up against the motor. So it's we put our seat all the way back, of course, but it's pretty comfortable in there.
Now, as far as in the legend class, and I'm gonna talk about on dirt. When you pull up, who do you see certain cars there, I'm going to have to get up on the wheel. Who is it?
Well, Shabram, he's definitely one of them. Eddie Daniels. Yeah, the neighbor brothers. They're pretty sporty, and then let's see here. There's about 5 to 10 that I feel like is one of those cars can win. We're all pretty close battling out, but I would say Shabram is the most consistent up front.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good. I like old Ryan. He's a trip.
Yeah, and he's definitely always one of the factors to win, no doubt about it.
Now, where are you guys heading up to? Are you racing this weekend?
I'm not sure. We're still, kind of up and down if we are, but possibly take the week off and then regroup for Florence next weekend, and so we can have a strong run there. But I'll definitely keep everybody updated on our Facebook page, Jadan Bowling Motorsports, and all the weekly updates and where we're racing at. And so when I figure something out, that'll be where we let everybody know.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's your new Facebook page, Jadan Bowling Motorsports, correct?
Yes, sir.
Everybody go over there if you get a chance. Go on once the show's over tonight, or if you're just tired of us running our mouth, hop off of here and go Jadan Bowling Motorsports and check out where Jaden's going to be at next. And I see a lot of great things in your future. Kind of like Kip had mentioned tonight. We had Kip on here, and Brad Page was with us. He said, Jadan, he said, I noticed he said, if that young man ever gets in victory lane, it won't be the last time we see him here. And victory lane has been a place that's not a stranger to you here lately. And it's good to see, man. I love seeing, and I'm not going to say, how old are you? I don't want to say the young generation because you're not like 11 or nothing, but how old are you?
16.
So 16. I mean, you're still, you're a teenager and love racing, and I see the sport. And I made the comment the other day, every time I've ever talked to you, you're very polite. And that means a lot. And every time you talk, you're positive, and that goes a long way in the whole racing aspect of things. And it's good to see, and I say younger because I'm old to death. I'm over here. I'm almost nursing home material. But to see the positivity and the will and the want to that comes from drivers like yourself, it shines a light on the positiveness for the younger drivers. To see you, being like that, I think you're a limelight. To be honest, I mean that's just my opinion, and I'm sure everybody has their opinion, but that's my opinion of you, and I appreciate the way you are, in the whole racing aspect of things.
Well, yes, sir. I greatly appreciate it. That's my grandpa, grandma, and mom, and family have really helped me out with that part of it, and but most importantly, that's all up to the good Lord. So he's always riding shotgun with me, and I think that's the reason we've had the success that we've had last year, and then starting off this year pretty strong.
That's good stuff, man. What are you seeing in the future? Do you have a goal you want to get to, or are you wanting to hit NASCAR? Or are you wanting to, late model sportsmen? What's your avenue?
The goal was to make it up to the Cup cars, NASCAR, and then basically do a repeat of Kyle Larson. We're going to be strong in the Cup Series and then run the partial Woo Series and the models and the sprint cars and just run as many laps as possible.
If I have to, have you ever heard of the word have you ever heard of the name Lance West?
Say that again?
Have you ever heard of the name Lance West?
No, sir.
Well, Lance was a lot like you. There was nothing he couldn't get in, he couldn't drive. There wasn't no class he ever got in he didn't win. I mean, I think he's running those side-by-sides now out in California, like the big Red Bull Nationals or something else. But that dude was bad, bro. And I think you've got, steering wheel is your next to kin. I mean, everything you get in, you're on it. And I'm not just sitting here shooting the bull because we're on the radio. I'm actually saying that because I see it from an outside looking in. Race teams, y'all need to be looking at this gentleman because he is on it. He's got it going on.
Well, it's definitely not as easy as it looks. We've made a lot of laps. Luckily, I've been fortunate enough to run a lot of different things, like the asphalt legend cars and the super truck and the dirt legends. And towards the end of the last year, we experienced with the 600 micro sprint. So driving a lot of things. I feel like the micro sprints and the dirt legends is by far one of the most challenging things that I've ran. So when I jump in, like the super truck or the asphalt legend, to me it makes it a little bit easier and a lot less to adapt to. So
next time you get a chance and you're around Willie Milligan, ask him about micro racing. Ask him how that 600 treated him that night at the Winter Classic.
Not too damn good if I remember.
Oh, God, he was like an Olympic gold medalist, son. That was like a triple Lux on ice. I don't know what kind of move that was. He was doing it, but it didn't turn out well for him. I don't think he ever got to worry about Willie Milligan getting back in the 600.
Those things are there's definitely nothing else that drives or as fast as those. Not that what I've ran. Those are pretty radical.
Yeah, it was a good race last week down at Rockfish. If anybody wants to see the 600 sprints, make sure you check in. They got a winged 600 sprint race coming up next, not this weekend, but the following weekend, April 16th at Rockfish Speedway, paying $500 to win, and that's coming from Gregory Poole, big sponsor on that 600 wing race. Last weekend was an amazing race. Got to send a shout-out right quick to Andrew Daltrey, his first win in a while. Man, he put it in there, and he come up on victory lane, and I thought I about blew my larynx out hollering for him because I love to see new people in victory lane. It was amazing, to see him out there and pick up that victory. But Sasquatch, you got anything?
I think we've got it. We've hit it all.
Man, who do you got to thank for getting you out there on the track?
Well, most importantly, I have to thank the good Lord for allowing me to be fortunate enough to be on the track, and second, my grandpa and grandma. They've anything that we've done in racing, they've been the backbone of it. So shout out to them and my sponsors. Mr. Sandy Mansfield and Global Imports and East Coast Handrails and B&H Arms and my mom and brothers and girlfriend and all the fans and for the support and just everybody that's in the circle.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again so much for joining in with us tonight. We greatly appreciate it and look forward to seeing you back in victory lane. Congratulations on your success so far, and definitely looking forward to see you in that cup car, man. Follow the dreams. The only person that can get in your way is you, and I think you've got the will to make it there. And I tell you what, you got a fan before you get there and when you get there coming from the Rooster, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, buddy. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to be on the show, and appreciate talking to such a great group of guys, and look forward to being back.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir, buddy. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. That was it right there out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Holden Beach area. That's your man, Jadan Bowling, the state champion, Young Lion. I believe it's the Young Lions Inex.
Yes.
State champion. And, man, before we get out of here tonight, gosh, we've been long-winded. It's been an amazing show.
Yeah.
I love these shows that flows and where you never got to find a question or you got to find what to say next. I've fought a couple times.
There's been a couple of them that's been pretty tough.
Or I've been like, damn, what am I going to ask them next? But, man, it has been a great show. And I want to recap on the Rockfish rundown. Rockfish is going to be back April 16th, like I said, for the $500 to win 600. Special thanks to Gregory Poole and the $500 to win Mod Lights by Billistein by Team XXX Racing Service. That's going to be an awesome show. We did the Chase the Flag, the Old South Apparel, Chase the Checkered. And, man, let me tell you, it's coming alive. It's hard to talking trash in the dirt track racing because everybody gets so edgy, but this has really brought it back, dude. So you go to Rockfish, you race, and if you win, you get the flag. You take the flag home, you autograph it, you bring it back to the next driver's meeting. If you win again, you take the flag home. If you don't win, somebody else takes the flag home. And Mod Light is going to be the show because everybody wants that flag. Stephen Dunn, you've took it home 2 weeks in a row. That's enough. Your ass is going down this coming up week.
Richard Young said he's coming for it.
He did. And Cameron Dove, an amazing showing in the junior sprint division. What a wonderful win for that gentleman. That's 2 for this season for the Phillips Towing 403 machine. Steve Murray Jr. come in the 270s and picked up that win. Andrew Daughtry, man, I'm telling you, I about to blow the lung out hollering for that fella. It's good to see him in victory lane. I know he's excited. He's got the flag flying on Dunn Road, so you can ride down and see the flag flying. That's Andrew Daughtry with the 600 sprint driving for Mr. Jimmy. Stephen Dunn picked it up in the Mod Light, and Tristan Stevens picked up that win in the Legends division. This weekend, want to run down on some rundown? Yeah, that didn't make no sense, but it sounded good. Lakeview's got the Carolina Outlaw Super Strengths and the Ultimate Super Late models will be down there. Sumter, the Steel Block Bandits, man. Tell us about that show. You excited? You
I'm
ready?
excited about it. I like Sumter, man. It's got a high school environment down there. It's a younger crowd. They get there early. They bring their coolers, bring their friends, and all that stuff. And it's going to be hype in there, man. We're going to load the field, or the field's going to be loaded with cars, and I feel pretty confident about it. We might not get to the car count like we had at Halifax, but it's going to be pretty damn close. I'm thinking 30.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
It'd be awesome, dude, to pack 30 cars in there, man.
Well, I hope it's a barn burner. I hope it's a wonderful time. And who's riding the Gen 3 Performance Imaging Hot Pink Sales?
So right now, Dustin Mitchell's got them. They won Halifax, and so they're showing up. They got them mounted up.
Is he not on fire this year?
He is. So they got them mounted up last week when Jim took them their money for the tire test, coming back good. And he asked to put the spoilers on, so he'll carry them into Sumter, and whoever comes out of Sumter alive when we go to Smoky Mountain, we'll have them on there, and they'll collect the $100.
There you go, Dad. You've been saying, I want to go somewhere different. I'm tired of going around here. Not that he don't love the tracks that are around here, but he said he's tired of going to the same old tracks every week. He wants to go somewhere to hop in the truck with Felicia and Joe this weekend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go on down. You'll have a good time. Triple T Raceway, the HBM Reaper Backyard Series is going to be up, and we're powered tonight by HBM Reaper. Special thanks to Terry Odom. I'll go down there and see Darryl Wheeler and those guys. Great guys, man. Gosh, we were able to go down there and practice the other day, and amazing atmosphere. Saturday night go-kart racing, coming back to go-karting. So going down and check those guys out at Triple T. That's down in St. Paul's. The Goodyear All-American Speedway's got the bandos for 500. Our man, Hollywood Bellinger, going to be getting down to Friendship. They're down there working on the race car tonight, heading into Elkin, North Carolina for that 1,000 to win. And the Mid-South, but Mid-South had a split. And I don't know if I should bring it up, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Mid-South, they got a race at County Line.
Oh, the Mid-East.
Mid-East,
yeah.
Mid-South, Midwest.
There's some questions on that.
Middlesex, middle something.
And I don't think it's a Mid-East sanctioned show. I think they're just saying, hey, it's a Mid-East rules, maybe. Not sure how it is. But the Mid-East, like the national, well, not national, but the overall points will be at Friendship.
Yeah.
So that's where the Mid-East points count. Your weekly points will count if they're a Mid-East sanctioned racetrack. Will count at County Line if they got, if they got a certain amount of cars. But so that's what the confusion is. They're Mid-East sanctioned racetrack. They're not a Mid-East. It's not a Mid-East national event, so to speak. Yeah. So.
And then coming up on the 23rd, if you're in a blown alcohol madness, Lee County Mud Motorsports Complex is doing the Darrell Jones Memorial, paying tribute to the fastest man to ever ride in the mud. They're going to have the fastest of the fast and the blown alcohol madness. That's going to be down at Lee County Mud Motorsports Complex in Moncure, North Carolina. Our man, Superman Chad Sexton, is going to be down there trying to defend that fastest of the fast. And that's going to be an amazing day. Also, the following weekend on the 28th, you can go down and check out Fast Tracks. It's got Trucks Gone Wild. And I got to throw this in there, man. We had Red a birthday party. And I was looking for a monster truck. And Leroy Hilton called me from Fast Tracks, and they brought their mega truck down. That thing was super huge, dude. Them kids had a blast. It was amazing. So go down and support Leroy and those guys. And they have a race down there. It's kind of like U-Cars, but it's on a road course with hills.
Yeah, it's like a motocross. It's pretty cool. I want to get there and do that.
I seen the video of it the other day. He's like, man, you got to come. And they got a 50-foot redneck water slide down there. The side-by-side trails, four-wheeler trails, the whole 9 yards. So check out Fast Tracks, and that's going to be coming up for the Trucks Gone Wild on April 28th. We're going to try to get them in and talk to them a little bit on our next show. But before we get out of here, man, is there anything else you guys got to say?
Well,
Dad over there yawning.
They're over there asleep.
Get up.
I just saw it. Kip said he was taking corn to Sumter.
Sumter. No.
He spelled it Sumter.
Well, he did. But
All my life I've said Sumter with a P in there somewhere, and I've
Kipper's
been
corn
corrected.
going to Sumter, by God.
Yep.
Mr. Politically Correct over there is Sumter. Anyhow, Kip, I said I was going to see my family. Now I'm coming for the corn.
They put it in large letters so you could see it.
Sumter.
Sumter. Going to Sumter this weekend.
That's old school racing down there. I'm ready.
Oh, it's definitely it's pretty cool environment.
Alan Core said it was a different world.
It is. It's a younger crowd. It's what everybody wants at their racetrack. It is a younger crowd. They're into it. The fans are into it. They give a damn about nothing else down there but that racetrack.
Yeah.
And they do a great job down there. I'm looking forward to it.
Kind of like when you cross Dublin. Remember when they used to have the light bulbs, like the 60-watt yellow light bulbs draped across the racetrack? That was the caution lights. There wasn't no fancy stop signs and stuff going on. It was the damn light bulbs strung across the. I'll never forget. I remember shoving Johnny, Big John's son. We shoved Johnny in the back of Ma Parker's car because he didn't have enough money to get in, and we didn't, and Ma Parker didn't have enough money to get us all in. So we shoved Johnny in the back of the car and went across Dublin. I'll never forget it.
Well, they had those step vans for a reason too. We used to hide in the tires in the step van going in the pits. They'd be young'uns coming out every door of the things.
Daggone me.
Couldn't afford to pay for everybody to go.
Yeah.
I didn't have money one weekend, and I was helping Billy Calder then. Steve Revels was driving for him. And we were going up to Dunn when Dunn used to have the speedway up there. And I told him I couldn't go because I didn't have the money. And oh, yeah, you going. So he said, we're going to put you in the trunk of the race car. I said, oh, Lord. So we got up to, I think it's exit 77, I think it is. They pulled off the side, put me in the trunk of the race car, and here we went. They forgot me in there. And Steve cranked that thing up, backed it off the trailer, and they still forgot me in there. They cranked it up, went to go on the track to practice, and I like to kick the whole rear of the car off. Billy Calder come around, oh, boy, I forgot you was in there. I didn't. I like to kick the whole back of the car off.
Yeah. And that's just another example, ladies and gentlemen, of May 1st, 2022, good old days of dirt. Come on down. It's everybody's welcome, from the lady who cooks hot dogs in the concession stand to the best driver on the track. We invite everybody to come out and enjoy yourself. If you want to bring your race car, you can join in now. Hold on, let me get it together. Let me tweak. Chat Lee, Boat and Marine, Larry Long Memorial Race Car Show. You like that?
Got it. You got it.
I got it. Kip, thank you so much, brother. Man, I'm stoked about it. It's going to be a great time. I hope this weekend's a great time for you guys. Yep. I would go. We're flying out to PA. Nikki bought her a car, so we got to go to PA and pick it up. But I hope y'all have a blessed weekend, safe travels, and all that stuff. Mama Swann, Genuine Junkyard Dog, thank you guys so much for coming in. And we appreciate everything you guys are doing to help with all this. It takes us all. There's no way one person can put this together. It takes everybody.
It does.
And we're all a team, and I think we got a beautiful thing going.
I do too.
Definitely looking forward to seeing you guys. So, for Shine Runners Racing Radio, the Sasquatch, who is ready to get busted up May the 7th.
Yeah.
I'm going to flex on you, boy. I'm telling you.
Y'all better come help him get out of that cart on the 7th.
Huh. The junior sprints are racing down there on the 7th, too, so take it easy on me because I got Wyatt racing
That'll
that
be
weekend.
your problem right there. You ever excuse, oh, yeah, Wyatt had me working too hard fixing this car.
No, hopefully we ain't going to have to fix this car. Hopefully we'll roll on out and be ready to go. Ready to go. So support a track somewhere this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It don't matter what it is, motocross, something. Make sure you go somewhere dirt's flying. Always tip your hat to those who paved the way to make it happen. And until next time, we are out of here, guys. Make sure you tune in to Fouled Out. I think Fouled Out will be next week.
Next week, whatever day they are.
One
They keep
day,
changing
someday.
day or something like that.
Well, now we all got baseball practice, so now Tuesdays and Thursdays are baseball practice, so it'll be the Monday or Wednesday.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Either way.
one of those will be Fouled Out, but a big shout-out to A.J. Bellinger Motorsports and A.J., the number 24. Good luck this weekend. Brother down at Friendship, hope you pick up that $1,000. We are out of here. Y'all have a good one.